Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you different types of application which I have not talked about in any of my previous videos. Most of the time I have either showed you how to build a Java based web application using Spring Boot, MySQL and other technologies, and I also showed you how to build an Android application. Today, by popular demand, I'm going to show you how to build a React based applications, which is mainly TypeScript and JavaScript with HTML and CSS based application. So let's get to it. The application concept is fairly simple. It's called, as it said, it's a Google Book Search. As you could see, it's not fancy, doesn't have any bells and whistles. All it's got kind of like a simple search. You search for a book. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I want to search for anything that has Bill Gates in there. There you go. As soon as you do it, it does a search, and this is actually real live book search that happens using Google's Book Search REST API in the background. And you get to see these real books, and if you're interested in, you can click one of those. And of course, it will take you there, and if you're interested, you can buy them, or you can read it if they're free. So it's pretty powerful and capable, therefore it's also simple as well. In this application, you can pretty much follow the code and use it to do other type of search if you know the REST API that you can use fairly easily. So let's get to the technology that's behind this thing. Alright, so in order to do this, you're gonna need Node, of course, because the JavaScript, the TypeScript, they typically would run, including React, needs a platform, and Node.js is the most popular one. So you're going to need this, and you're probably definitely going to need to know some HTML if you're not sure. So there's the link. I'll put all these links in the description below in case you need to refer to it. You're also going to need to have some CSS knowledge. If you're not sure, definitely go to this site. This is actually one of the sites that I go to learn if there's anything new, or you can Google it as well. And then of course you're going to use this tool called Create React App to start at least a plain vanilla simple React based app, and start the app and basically have a good starting point. So this is a good place to start, and this site right here is very self-explanatory, and it has a step-by-step tutorial that you can actually go through, and I'm sure there's lots of other YouTube videos that you can watch as well. And I have put these two links, even though you may or may not need it, but it's always good to have a reference, because React and Angular and Vue.js, those popular JavaScript based or TypeScript based technologies, uses TypeScript and JavaScript or ECMAScript. So it's a good reference if you really wanted to get to it and look at certain syntax and stuff like that. Same thing, even though you're not gonna use pure JavaScript when you're writing React code, you're probably gonna write TypeScript, but it eventually gets compiled into JavaScript, and there's some common piece to it. So that's also good to know some of the JavaScript syntax. Alright, so let's see how the code would run and look. So basically, there is a code, and the code doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, as you can see, and doesn't have a lot of moving parts. It's pretty simple. It's got a simple search screen that is done by this add.js, and once you do the search, then it literally shows the search results into another component called search_results.js. If you're familiar with the React, you will know what these .js files are. And all of these other files that you see when you create a React app, actually, like this stuff like package.json, log, and stuff like the index.js, logo, all this stuff gets automatically created for you. So you don't need to worry about any of those things. You only need to typically touch the app.js, see the CSS, and any other components you add to it. So that's these components are basically. And here, literally, you only have app.js and search results. Anyway, without going further details, I'm going to go ahead and just run this. So of course the application is called this. And the first thing you would do is, after you obtain the code, you would run npm install. Just to make sure, I have already run it once, just to make sure that you install all the required dependent modules so that you can run it. Now the next thing is, of course, what you would want to do is run npm install, right? I'm sorry, not npm install, npm start. So I wouldn't suggest that, and the reason I'm running it, and it's going to throw an error, which is fine, and I want to show you that you don't want to do that. The reason it's throwing an error, and again you can look at it, it's fussing about some SSL related stuff. So I have actually added some special, you have to add an environment variable to basically say that use legacy SSL. So instead of running npm start, what you would want to do is do npm run start Windows. So I actually have added, let me show you. I've added these for start Windows. It basically adds an environment variable and then does the npm start. You can also do start Linux if you're on a Linux platform, and I guess for OS X you could do similar thing as well. So if I do it, and then it uses the environment variable, and the stuff would work fine without any problem. It's going to come up in a second, and there you go. And let it run. There you go. It's the exact same app. Now it's running from the local machine, of course. And this time, let's try another famous person, Elon Musk. Which if I find Elon, there's a lot of books right there. And I can select one of these, and of course you can get to the book, and you could read it or download it or samples or whatever. So as you could see, it's fairly simple and straightforward, but it's very powerful as well. So using this little simple app, you can pretty much hook any other search, or you can even update this background, look and feel, add other components to it, and do all kinds of things. So there we go. It's a simple example of a React-based app, and if you like this video, and if you like the technology, if you want to look at the code, please support me. Go to the description below. You'll be able to download the code. I'll also put the live link down below so you can look at and actually use the application, do the search yourself. Thanks a lot. Bye now. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like the video. I appreciate you stopping by.